Today on XPlay, prepare to break every bone in your body when we review Tony Hawk's Underground 2. Plus, because licensing agreements demand it, we review Madagascar and what madness spawned Ark the Lad 2. I'll say it again. It's game time. Thou shalt not covet, Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Why would you?
Hello and welcome to XPlay.
On this episode of XPlay, will the shining wonders of capitalism never cease? Yes, today everyone is cashing in.
DreamWorks makes a Madagascar game because the toys, the movie, and the fast food tie-ins, they just weren't enough.
Capcom gives us Megaman 5 Battle Network because they know how to beat a dead horse and still get people to buy its stanky corpse.
Amazing. And the creators of Ark the Lad Issue 4, Ark the Lad End of Darkness, to cash in on the nostalgia of the 5 people who played the original back in the 90s.
Plus later, multimillionaire Tony Hawk becomes even more of a multimillionaire with the release of Tony Hawk's Underground 2 for the PSP. We have a review.
Plus, we review yet another dungeon crawler. That's right, hack, slash, rinse, repeat, pay $50 for another Diablo clone.
But we kick things off with a movie game.
So right off the bat, you know it's gonna be awesome.
Well, actually, this one is intended for kids.
Translation, it might not suck if you're 5. Here's our review of Madagascar.
Well, DreamWorks has squirted out yet another mildly amusing animated film called Madagascar. So it's no surprise that they released a game based on the movie, if for no other reason than to squeeze as much money from the parents as possible. The plot for the game is taken from the movie. Marty the zebra is sick of his current living situation and yearns for someplace better. Kinda like me in LA. But unlike most movie games, you're not overrun with scenes from the movie. Whether that's a good or bad thing is yet to be determined. The game uses every platforming cliche in the book, ranging from scavenger hunt style item collection, double jumps, racing, and stealth. Of course, all dumbed down to the first grade level, which makes the gameplay really easy. Unless you are 3 years old. Or like this guy.
Hey, is it time for me to do my special trick?
Yeah, special is the operative word. The levels themselves are split up so you can play 1 or 2 different characters at different times. Each character has different abilities that lend themselves to different tasks, like running, roar attacks, kicking, and epileptic flailing. The voice acting seems like it was scraped from the bottom of the monkey cage. While they try to sound like Ben Stiller and Chris Rock,
these people know talent when they see it.
It still falls a little flat. I mean, they couldn't get David Schwimmer. Last time I checked, he and much of the cast of Friends weren't doing too much. Also, the camera acts like it was designed by a retarded elephant. I'm sure they're trying to fit in with the spirit of the game, but the end result is that you may find your little one using some of the 4-letter words they hear you screaming at your TV. On the plus side, if you get tired of the regular gameplay, there are mini-games that are hidden throughout the game or can get purchased from the souvenir shop. Yeah, there's a souvenir shop.
Capital.
These games are a well-deserved break, and the mini golf game can actually get quite addicting.
Nice birdie.
Since this game is designed for the gamer around the fetus age, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. The game is simple, but a lot of the gaming elements are something that you might find in a more mature platformer. And no, I'm not talking about porn. Gutter-minded fools. We give Madagascar a 3 out of 5.
Don't let those flying rats tell you different.
So, if you're a parent with a small child or a not very bright teenager, this might be a great choice.
Everyone else over the age of 10 will fail to find this very entertaining.
And no one at XPlay is currently entertained by Megaman.
Oh.
Yes, like a large Samoan man with a bad case of Montezuma's revenge, Capcom keeps crapping out Megaman games.
Megaman X, Megaman Battle Network, Megaman Zero, Megaman Battle Chip Challenge, and Megaman CSI Lava Area.
Now there's more Megaman for your GBA, and it might actually be good, but it's still Megaman. On the count of 3, let's all pretend to care. 1, 2, 3. Here's a review of Mega Man 5 Battle Network.
reviewed quite a few games on this show, but none quite like Mega Man Battle Network 5 Team Protoman. Unless, of course, you count the 4 identical Mega Man Battle Network games that came before it. Available for the Game Boy Advance, this handheld delight is the 5th installment in a franchise that's been 5 years running. As such, the good people at Capcom have definitely mastered the fine art of sucking. But seriously, Mega Man Battle Network 5 is probably the best game in the series. Gamers start off as the young Lan and his alter ego, Mega Man. As the story plays out, Lan's father gets sleep-gassed, kidnapped, and who knows what else by the evil Dr. Regal. In order to save his father and liberate the net, Lan and his PET Mega Man must join a team of net navies, engaging viruses and enemies in vicious cyber battle. Gameplay is solid, with features like Double Soul, where players combine their powers with other navies, and Full Synchro Mode, where enemies rue the day they challenge you and your deadly pink hula hoop. But once Mega Man teams up with the other navies, gamers get the option of playing with characters like Magnet Man and Protoman. Together, Mega Man, Magnet Man, and Protoman wage war against characters like Shade Man. Sadly, creatively named Man was unavailable. This version also features liberation battles, where gamers must fight specific enemies, thereby adding a level of strategy into the mix. The learning curve is steeper than Tyra Banks' forehead, so while existing fans will have no problems jumping right in, new players will need lots and lots of patience. Although not dramatically improved from its predecessors, this title does feature interesting cutscenes, challenging battles, and a colorful 3D world, a world designed by manly men for manly men. The graphics are actually more than respectable, but again, not much improved from the earlier versions. The soundtrack, however, is out of this world. Timeless classics like Dee 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 and Dee Dee Da will move you in the right way. In the end, this game is solid enough to satisfy fans with a little more of the same, but probably won't be enticing any newcomers. Mega Man Battle Network 5 Team Protoman gets zapped with a 3 out of 5.
There are 3 things we've had enough of on this show. 1, Mega Man games.
2, World War II games.
3, bad Grand Theft Auto ripoffs.
4, card battle games.
More than 3.
5, weird technical school commercials during the break.
6, bad commercial break introductions.
Okay.
Up next, apparently the first Ark the Lad was successful enough to spawn a sequel, but you could have fooled us. Once again, 2 people who will repel your magic missile, Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Yes, please do not attempt to fire your magic missiles at us. Sessler is wearing pants of repelling.
I thought these were dickies. Welcome back to XPlay, the show that's easier to understand if you're a little bit nerdy.
And if you're into esoteric games, have we got one for you.
Mainstream gamers play a lot of Madden and GTA and Tony Hawk, but it takes a special breed of gamer to pick up a copy of Ark the Lad.
It's an RPG that really appeals to kids with lots of extra time on their hands.
So, if you're 12, you like anime, you hate social interaction, and have already played every Final Fantasy game, you'll probably pick this up in desperation.
See, while RPGs like Paper Mario can be played by kids and adults without making the adults feel like total tools, that's not so much the case with Ark the Lad.
It's not the most, how should we say this, well-written game. Perhaps something was lost in the translation.
Or perhaps we should just let you decide for yourself when we review Ark the Lad, End of Darkness.
You know it's going to be a heavy piece of role-playing melodrama when it starts out with the opening of a book. How can you go wrong with that cliche? Well, that's what we're going to find out with the latest in the Ark the Lad series. Ark the Lad, End of Darkness is the most recent RPG in a series that has been going downhill faster than Karl Rove's credibility. Ooh, XPlay gets political. That'll be timely on the 15th rerun.
I have to take a leak. Get it? Leak? Leak? Nobody gets my humor here. Let's bomb something.
This End of Darkness on the edge of town isn't that bad. It should meet your daily RPG requirements. There are towns to visit, people to talk to, lives to get overly involved with, perhaps too involved. The storyline? Well, it's RPG 101. Stop me if you've heard this before. We're on an island. Where's Locke? And what's in that damn hatch? Anyway, there's this boy. Oh, let's call him X-Play, who lives on this island. The boy could be the chosen one, the savior for all. You see, his mother was an exorcist, his father tough as Tyson. In RPG-ness, this means he's the only one who can rid the world of evil. That's pressure. Apparently, this evil is in the hearts of everyone and must be suppressed. Wasn't that the plot of Ghostbusters 2? Anywho, let's get to some of the battles in a montage. Repetitive, don't they? They also seem somewhat repetitive, don't they? What is it with RPGs and monster mushrooms?
Hey, Reggie.
And that brings us to card collecting.
I'm worth 15 Pikachus.
By collecting cards throughout this end of darkness, you'll be able to get new spells and abilities. It's so special. Hey, you know what else is special? The special friendship between, let's call him X-Play, and his Slothian friend, Hemo. They have a bond, an unspeakable bond, a love that dare not speak its name, unless it's on the Bravo network. The best part of this arc laddiness is online support. Find some other peeps online and show some nice teamwork to complete missions. This is where End of Darkness is better than previous games in the series. But you may get bored with that as it's a pretty repetitive game. And you may get bored with that as it's a pretty repetitive game. Arc the Lad End of Darkness gets 3 yawns out of 5.
Did I mention it's a repetitive game?
Yeah, I think so.
Did I mention it's a repetitive game?
Stop it.
Did I mention that it's a repetitive game?
You know what? I'm the one that says the juvenile stuff before the break, not you.
Did I mention that it was a repetitive game?
Up next, the untold legends of Untold Legends pretty much get told. I'm like totally hooked on phonics and Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
It's tough to get off phonics.
Welcome back to X-Play. Can you say dungeon crawling hack and slash?
Only if I have to.
You have to.
Fine. Here's a dungeon crawling hack and slash. This is our review of Untold Legends, and it starts with an intern.
Gather near, you will hear the tale of the legends of X-Play. Flitwick of the Flatlands set forth to encroach upon the dreaded and most vile Cretan Dragon Ball. And amidst this struggle, Flitwick escapes with one less limb and most of his sanity.
Oh, now I can talk? Untold Legends Brotherhood of the Blade follows in the heavily armored footsteps of Diablo, EverQuest, and Champions of Noraf. Untold Legends goes a step further by doing what they could not, sucking major ass. You're either a pantless female alchemist, a druid, a knight, or a berserker. Choose skin tone, hairstyle. We went with the Donna Reed flip. And you're off to your first loading screen. Start snuggling up to this porker, you'll be seeing it a lot. Here's the story. It's Mardi Gras. You've just entered an inn where everyone knows your name. Next thing you know, you're waking up with a hangover and a monster. Close. Think less creepy, more sane. And that's it, end of story. If you want more drama, you'll have to look to the undead. Drama queen.
As the underling for the High Dread Lord, Bilgar was entrusted to concoct the dark potion. Time and time again, a sneer and roar greeted with every chalice. Too sweet, too dark, too cold. 50 times 50 he did the quest of peaking percolators of purgatory, until he never returned again to live among his people, the creamers and the sugar packs.
Untold Legends plays like, well, every other dungeon crawler out there. Slash, kill, collect, level up. Oh, a skill tree. Be still, my throbbing cockles. Enemies come in 31 flavors of stupid. I'm not saying brush isn't effective, just stupid. The only variation you'll find between levels is the size of the monsters and the color of the tiles.
Our final tale of legends unfolds with a belligerent intern and a puppet named Ratty. Clean out my litter box, bitch, screamed the loudmouth rodent. No, retorted the intern. Suck it! No! To his surprise, the strained words touched a nerve in that ragged stuffing. Reddy's heart grew 3 sizes that day, only to shrink 4 sizes immediately. Suck it! He screamed as padded feet pushed Reddy towards his victim's succulent-necked meat.
All this put together adds up to a less than mediocre game. The death nail comes from the load time. You load to get into buildings. Picture loads while talking. Load, 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 load. Adds up to one huge steaming load. Some legends are better left untold. That's why we give Untold Legends Brotherhood of the Blade a 2 out of 5.
Join us next time when we visit the legend of the female intern.
Ah, yes, the legend of the female intern.
The males whisper of her existence, but I think it's just one of the smaller boys in a dress.
Yes, well, whatever they have to do to get by. We here at XPlay embrace gender diversity, cosplaying, role-playing, and LARPing.
And puppets biting the heads off the interns. We're open to anything.
Except more dungeon crawlers.
Except that.
Coming up, warning, don't try this at home. It's our review of Tony Hawk Underground 2. Please remember to validate Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Yes, I need all the validation I can get. Just be careful when you try to stuff me through the ticket window.
Welcome back to XPlay. Are you a quote-unquote mainstream gamer who has been waiting all episode long for our final review?
Have you suffered through Megaman RPGs and kid games to arrive finally at the holy grail of popular gaming, Tony Hawk's Underground 2?
Well, weary warriors, suffer the slings and arrows of niche gaming no more.
Here's a review of Mr. Hawk's latest triumph, Thug 2 for the PSP.
Welcome to the colorfully confined PSP world of Tiny Hawk. Tiny and his trippy troop of dude-gastic cohorts have finally skated their way into the low acreage locale of the PSP. Tony Hawk's Underground 2 Remix proceeds to Shanghai the tiny dude who's you in the game and signs him up for a post-pubescent round-the-world jihad of skate. Story mode dominates the title as you and your tatted thrill-seeker set off to bother the world. Bam Margera acts as the card-tastically theatrical leader of the team you're competing against.
Hello, butt nuggets.
Good old multi-gazillionaire Tony Hawk is always on hand for a reassuring pat on the back when your suck meter becomes full. He's always willing to hold the door to successful skateboard franchising for all to shop. Jackass-scented cutscenes are begging for a double-ply cleanup job as the goofy kid joke diaper fills up with yuck.
Woo! And 20 bonus points if you think there's luggage in the trunk.
In a world full of people who can't find their cars, dude humor just might be ready to graduate from Ridgemont High. Once you get past the cutscene carnies, however, you launch into the true thrill of this game's ample big top. Somewhere in the skies, high above your PSP. The game ports the vertiginous excess of Tony Hawk's mini incarnations nicely. The graphics gladly give in to your expectations for flight, like a budding woman gaining backstage access to the Tour du Warp.
I could ride you just like I rode that wave.
Controls at times seem tough in terms of the touch detail necessary to master long chains of tricks, grinds, and leaps. Ow! Perhaps taking into consideration the size of the thing clutched in your trembling hands. Of course, the in-game graphics are tight and immersive, though Tony and Bam look like they kinda like juice boxes. Time limit games are fresh and immediate and will clearly keep you chained to the game. Another nice feature is the oh-so-realistic freak out. Dying on pavement enough times and your pissed-off Pope of polyurethane obliterates his board and starts over with the gift of rage. Every single thing is pretty much skatable in Tony's vision of how the world should be, except water. Water is no es bueno. And surfers. You can't skate on surfers, but you can do something else to them.
Hey, what? Dude!
There's a colorful array of vehicles to commandeer, all resplendent with their own grippy physics fury. This little church of skating also comes with a poppin' soundtrack of old and new forms of higher musical education. There's no support for infrastructure play, but up to 4 can take advantage of 11 games in ad hoc mode, with the PSP working wonders wirelessly. With the Dude Where's My Score, we give it a 4 out of 5.
good soundtrack, and it's a solid PSP game, and it will make Tony Hawk a lot of money, because he totally needs more.
It's interesting. So far, all of the games we played on the PSP, the best ones are still Luminous, Hot Shots Golf 4, Wipeout Pure, and Ridge Racer. And with the exception of Luminous, most of the good games are of the extreme sports and extreme racing variety.
So if you're sitting at home trying to decide if you should buy a PSP, a DS, or just hang on to your cute little GBA, think of it this way.
If you like the RPGs, stick to the GBA.
If you like puzzle games and crazy conceptual games like WarioWare or Trauma Center, try the DS.
But if you like your own sports, by all means, grab a PSP.
And if you're rich, buy all three and learn to accept the fact that the rest of us hate you and your affluence.
Because we're jealous.
True. However, today, feel free to be jealous of us because we actually got a nice viewer mail for once.
Today's viewer mail is from Justin B. He writes, just letting you know, not all Dragon Ball Z fans hate you.
Wow.
I agree that most DBZ games suck very, very badly. But I'm glad you guys gave Budokai 3 a 4 out of 5. Keep up the good work.
See, we gave Budokai 3 a good score because, see, it was a good game.
Yes, exactly. See, Justin is those rational people out there. Not the people that think that just because, when we see something that looks like a robot in a loincloth, that it's not a robot in a loincloth, and suddenly we don't know how to judge games anymore.
But we did
You know
actually
who I'm talking about. You're out there, buddy.
We did actually say that it was a soul bound magically to a suit of armor. I mean,
that is still the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. It is. But I mean, it works for you.
That's what happen when you try and resurrect your parents. You get magical appendages that turn into other things. I think it's a good thing. Apparently, I watch more of the show than he does.
I don't understand. Just